as usual, further comments. One thing that Paul writes, and a word that he uses constantly, is the word hope. But I wanted to give you a first century Greek definition of what hope. In Greek, it is elpis. Elpis. And it is hope not in the sense of an optimistic outlook or wishful thinking without any foundation, but in the sense of confident expectation based on solid certainty. Biblical hope rests on God's promises. Bam. Particularly those pertaining to Christ's return. So certain is the future of the redeemed that the New Testament sometimes speaks of future events in the past tense as though they were already accomplished. This is part of the nature of prophecy. Hope is never inferior to faith, but is an extension of faith. That is, hope requires faith. This kind of hope. This elpis that Paul often and all the other apostles spoke of. And faith is the present possession of grace. Hope is the confidence in grace's future accomplishment. This is why I and every real saint looks forward to the day when we are completed in Christ, where Christ has done all the work in us that was necessary to bring us into a future age, which I believe sincerely in. Most of my work in life has been banking on a future age, or aeon in Greek, where this world passes away and the millennium, or the 1,000-year reign of Christ, begins. This is the kingdom come. And I've been banking on this and investing in this all my life. If you were to look at my financial portfolio today and what most people, they acquire and they make their wealth here. It's as I tell everybody who inquires, I say, well, that's you need a warrant to look into that. And I only disclose that to the IRS. So now I wanted to have time, and hopefully we do. I mentioned Daniel, and just quickly to get back to where. Oh, I'm not in Daniel here. I have to find it. But Daniel's prophecy of when Jesus would come. And here it is from Daniel. Whoops. Chapter 2, and I'll just pick it up. This is so brief. Please, there's not much. I can't give you a lot of background. This Daniel's prophecy is almost a foundational key to all futuristic biblical prophecy, particularly about the end of this age, or aeon, this current age of man, and how Jesus would appear. We're picking up at verse 40 in Daniel chapter 2. And it reads as follows: The fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, and as much iron breaks in pieces and shatters everything. And like iron that crushes, that kingdom will break in pieces and crush all the others. Whereas you saw the feet and toes partly of potter's clay and partly of iron, the kingdom shall be divided. Yet the strength of the iron shall be in it, just as you saw the iron mixed with ceramic clay. And as the toes of the feet, he's speaking of a dream that this King Nebuchadnezzar had of this giant image of a man. And it describes 4 kingdoms, beginning with King Nebuchadnezzar, who was king of Babylon at the time. And you saw iron mixed with ceramic clay. They will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not adhere to one another, just as iron does not mix with clay. And in the days of these kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people. It shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Now, he was speaking of the Roman Empire. If you know ancient history, there was the Empire of Babylon. Empire of Babylon was taken over by the Persians, who then were taken over by the Greeks, who then were taken over by the Romans. And so 4 empires later, from Babylon to Rome, and in those days, Jesus was born. That in itself is a study that would go on, probably for a half hour on each Friday. It would take me about a year's time to unravel and present in theological order the prophecies just of this particular part in Daniel and how they were fulfilled in Jesus. This is one of the things that makes the Bible one of the most published and distributed. I didn't say sales. Bibles are given away for free. If you don't have a Bible, why don't you just go to just about any Protestant church and say, do you guys have any Bibles here? They'll probably offer you several. Now, the thing of it is that, yes, is that the Christian faith is unique among all the religions of the world. It's not about religion. It's about a relationship. Picking it up further with further comments, perhaps some later on. Again, John Wilcox. It's been great to be with you this Friday.